Good morning. Please say hello if you are able to watch this. So I'm going to pull out some cards for the energy forecast of July 22nd. For people that don't know, we do have a full moon coming up tomorrow evening, and it's in Aquarius. So I already did an entire reading on that. So if you go onto my YouTube channel, you'll be able to hear more about the full moon, okay? For people that don't know, I'm going to be doing also a full moon. Hello to whoever's watching. If you'd like a card pull, let me know. For people that don't know, there's also a full moon in August on the 22nd. So I'm going to be doing a full moon retreat August 23rd and 24th with the Muddy Lotus. And her name is Melissa Mitten. And she's awesome. So I'm really looking forward to spending those 2 evenings with her and with you guys. So it's going to be online, and you're going to get a lot of benefits. And there's also like a package that we're also giving away so that after your retreat you have a couple recordings to go home with, as well as a 50% off of both of our services. So you can't really go wrong. Cost is $111. Good morning, Shari. So would you like a message? And if so, I'll pull you up a card. So we're channeling for the energy of July 22nd. A lot of green energy here. So I can do a spoiler alert here with the full moon retreat that I'm doing next month, because I've already done the Theta Healing downloads in the recording for it, and money blocks and things like that were really coming up. So that's kind of coming up for our group right now, how we're looking at money, how we're feeling about money. I would love a card, please, and thank you. Okay, and hi, Kathy. So, Shari, we'll start with you. Four of Earth, being too frivolous or too cautious with money, good business decisions, giving to those less fortunate. Okay, and let me know if you guys have subscribed to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. So if you haven't, please get out there and do it. It's going to help me to do free videos, to do more content, because it could take me a while if you guys don't. So yeah, just something that I appreciate you guys doing. So Shari, this is kind of telling us that she's desiring all these things. She's actually pretty motivated. She has all the intelligence that she needs, but she's kind of like feeling a bit stuck. So pay attention to your emotional imbalances, okay? I also just created a Reiki group, Shari, so I would suggest joining that. I posted it on my Facebook here, but I will also post it in the comments as well. It's just a free group that I've created to support each other, to talk about Reiki, to give healings, get healings, things like that. But also just like I'm just getting to check in with the body more. I also did a weekly reading for this week, and as I was saying, a full moon reading. So this makes sense. It's not just you, but it's important to check in. Same thing. If you haven't watched my daily yesterday, you might want to go back and reflect towards that. But there's like a heaviness here, and around full moons, it's normal to feel like a little bit off. But this is kind of talking about like when we choose to stress about, we'll say like money, something like that. Well, I get that that's a real thing that you have to worry about, but a lot of it is changing how we feel about things, okay? So you should absolutely join the full moon retreat. I have I'll also put the link in here, okay? But it is on my robinshealing.com book online. You can just pay that way and you'll get the Zoom link, and then we'll have your email for our free package. But that would be really, does feel like really important, okay? So if you have to scrounge up some money or something to do that, I would say scrounge up the money, okay? Hope that you find that helpful. So yeah, just getting a lot of heaviness here in the chest of the people watching. If we kind of connect the card to the 22nd to today, in general of what we can expect, it's telling us that obviously our outlook is really important. it's like we're getting an upgrade, or it also feels like we're getting updated. So when I think about getting an upgrade for myself, I know when I'm like making big changes. Um, for me, it's like I have 3 retreats coming up. So 2 in August, 1 in September. And it feels like the people that I'm attracting into these retreats are completely different people than who I was attracting before. So that's my upgrade, is I'm not feeling the way I used to feel when I was working with certain people, okay? But as a result, there's a lot of different things that I have to do, right? So we have our own homework. So think about that yourself and feel free to share, how are you upgrading? What are your new changes that are happening in your life? I would love to know. Or what are you being updated with? But there's an upping energy that's happening and it's causing us to change. Hi, beautiful. So Melissa's the person that I was saying I'm doing that retreat with. So Melissa, I said I'm going to put the link in there for them to pay, but they can also go onto my site as well. And I was just sharing some good stuff. So feel free to comment on here, Melissa, some of the other awesome things that we're doing, because she's actually, I believe today, creating the event on Facebook. So she would be able to give you a bit more details. So Kathy is my next person. Cherry says, I am a level 3 Reiki, have been trying to get back into it. I have been having a rough go. Thanks for the card. You're welcome. Yes, Cherry. So absolutely, it's just Reiki group. And you'll be able to find it there. As I said, I already posted on my Facebook, but absolutely join us and introduce yourself when you get on. So far, for the most part, people have been introducing themselves kind of like you are right now, and I think you'll find that it's a really great community for where you are. And I'm going to be doing Reiki and Akashic Records and card readings, and we're doing some emotion code, guided meditations, a full moon ritual, of course. So there's going to be lots of stuff coming up. Okay, guys. So Kathy, purple for you. So I would encourage everybody here to take three deep breaths. Maybe this is the peace sign that we need. Kathy, I'm getting just to keep on keeping on, okay? Look at things from a different perspective. So literally that was our message for the day. At temporary standstill, it is important to be yourself. Of course it is. I'm getting for you, I also feel like you should join the retreat, but also I have a online retreat with just me on August 15th, and that is $33 and you get a free gift with it. So, and that's for 4 hours, and we're going to be doing some like very gentle movement practice. More for this one's going to be more connection just to the self, which I think you can benefit from. But Archangel Gabriel in particular, the message, I'm going to call him a he, is saying is like, don't be afraid that you're not moving forward, okay? Because sometimes that's the standstill piece, and that's why I think the also the online retreat that I'm doing will be helpful for you, because there is going to be more stillness practice, right? So it's going to be less education, more inward energy. But sometimes we're just not in a place where we want to do tons of work on ourselves, and that's okay, because maybe we've already been doing a lot. So if you listen to my talk about this full moon, it's going to make more sense, because I'm saying it's time to be gentle with ourselves. And so really make sure that for you in particular, you're not putting pressure on yourself, okay? But the word pressure is going to be significant to you. And also feel free to share, Kathy, or anybody else. Do you feel like sometimes you put pressure on yourself to work on yourself? Like if there is a full moon, do you feel like, oh my God, like I have to do this or I have to do that, versus just allowing life to unfold naturally, trusting that you're going to be called into what you're meant to do? Because I certainly feel that way sometimes. I feel like, oh my gosh, it's a full moon, like I have to do my ritual, blah blah blah. And in a way, it's not. I don't think it's bad to feel like there's a little bit of work that we have to do. But if there's a heaviness around it, we want to feel like we're excited, looking forward to doing these practices, right? So there's a fine line with that. Melissa says, yes. I will be hosting an introduction to the emotion code, showing you how to hack your subconscious using muscle testing to find and release negative trapped emotions and energies, and also chakra balancing through EFT tapping. Woo woo. It's going to be 2 very magical evenings. Absolutely. Also, I would love a card pull, Robin. I just finished pulling my own for the day. Would love an additive for inspired action. Thank you. You're welcome. And I love that you're choosing that word. So that just going to go back into this card for our general messages. So if people aren't asking questions, they still know what they can expect for specifically for today. So when we go into the awakening card with Gabriel, this is telling everybody that absolutely we are doing shadow work, period. Our moon's tomorrow. You're going to be feeling it today. You're going to be feeling it the day after, etc. So absolutely, I keep saying absolutely, breath work is key right now. So if you're feeling any type of tension in your body, literally just breathe. Today, I keep saying that I'm going to start my 500-hour yoga teacher training because it's online and it's something I do on my own. But actually, when I had a connection with Melissa yesterday, when we had our call, she was telling me, well, I was picking up as she was guiding me that I'm supposed to be doing more flow, yoga flow, instead of the stillness portion. For me, it's about really breathing, letting go, and that movement practice of just letting the body do what it wants to do, that creative process. Because often the mind wants to control how we create, whereas the body also wants to create naturally. And if we can breathe, then the body's more fluid and likely to go where it needs to go. So that's kind of, so I was being guided towards like start today because it does feel like a perfect day to just begin breath, especially on this time. So just also feel free to share, do you do breath work now? Do you do yoga? Do you do breath work in a meditation? Have you learned that with a psychologist maybe? I know someone who's working on their bladder from childhood, from birthing a child, and they're finally realizing that like their breath and the importance of breathing in and tightening and relaxing and being in control of our body is super, super important. So we need breath work for different types of things, but typically stress would be the number one cause of why we would do any type of breath work. It's more about mindfulness of how we tend to take too much time to think and not enough time to be in that heart space. So when we breathe, belly breaths are going to be really great, okay? You're welcome, Kathy. So, Melissa, and again, if you're hopping on, you'd like a card, let me know. So the Sun, Archangel Uriel, what a beautiful card to have, because I love how you and I are so in sync about this energy, that it's like everything was lining up for us, which is great, because you can just tell, as I was talking about my upgrade, who I'm attracting and things. It's so fun when you're actually excited to do something, as we were already talking about, versus feeling like, oh, this is something I have to do. We want to be lit up by our work. So happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success, have confidence in yourself. Absolutely. So Melissa, feel free to let me know if that card makes sense to you and how it makes sense to you, okay? Because I can share how I feel, but I'd love to hear how you feel. And anyone else that feels any energy from the Sun, what do you see? What do you get? I see angel wings being wrapped around Melissa, and she might not be as aware of how present those angels are. And she's in my Akashic Records program right now, so we were just working on Monday in relation to calling in archangels. And then she also had a connection to me sitting at like a table with all these angels present. So that's what I'm kind of seeing is when you're present, you're going to feel energy more. So go into being present as much as you can. Breathe and feel into the energy and literally write down or talk about, but probably write down what you're feeling in that moment. And really just indulge in that, because feeling that way and self-expressing is the best thing ever. Okay, so that's kind of how you're going to be successful. So I would say, yeah, just know that that energy is theirs like all the time. But again, sometimes we forget to feel, to really feel it, not just like, oh, I feel this. No, really feel it. Okay. So if we go into July 22nd and how this relates to our forecast, and also feel free to share, guys, do you work with angels? Do you take time to sit and call angels in? Do you do that before any of your meditations? I see sunflowers right away in this card. So that's telling me that we have to celebrate our life more, okay? So especially where some of this energy could be heavy and we're doing a lot of work on ourselves, so you have to reward yourself. And then I also see a bunch of birds in the background, which is also telling us that we're being supported and guided right now. So if you don't do things that make you happy today, you're going to become a little disconnected from source, from the feeling of freedom. Okay, so make sure that you put the things that you like to do on your list today if you're a list maker. The number 19 is also here, and that's kind of telling me to just slow down a bit more, because if you slow down and breathe, you're more likely to attract the things that you want in, because if you don't slow down to breathe, you won't notice these beautiful things. Okay, so it's very similar to Melissa's energy. It's just this is more what's going to come through when you're doing some of your planning. And if we look at 19 and 12 together, okay, we get 31. And 3 is a number of creativity, as we were already discussing. Creativity is when we allow things to flow. We don't control things, right? And so that might be your upgrade as well, is to stop controlling and just live more artistically. If you think about canvas and paint and how the paint literally just, it's fluid, you know, it just goes where it wants it to go. We take that paintbrush, and if we can allow our hand to even start to flow a bit, energy will kind of start to swirl around. Now, if we're too uptight, we might actually create blocks for us and start to ruin things. So that's a learning lesson of what these purple cards are saying, is don't create your own blocks, okay? So think about, also feel free to share, how do you create your own blocks? What is it that you do? How do you do that to yourself? Totally resonates with me, and I emphasized what my card reading said. I love Uriel. Receiving divine knowledge, 444. Okay, major throat stuff there, Melissa. So I'm feeling called to doing a quick little tapping through this energy of creating our own blocks, okay? Because I just got major stuff going on in the throat and the heart, and that's happening for everyone. So let's just do a little general tapping session. So if you, and anyone else that would like a card, just let me know, but I'm just gonna take your 4 fingers, tap here on the side. So even though I create my own blocks, I fully and completely love myself. Even though I might self-sabotage, I fully and completely love myself. And breathe. Even though I have throat chakra blocks, I fully and completely love myself. And we're going to be doing this in the retreat as well. So tapping here, feeling really stuck, feeling really heavy, feeling really nervous, feeling a little under the weather. And then here, feeling a little disconnected towards myself and others. And then sides of the eyes. Feeling panicky, feeling uncertain. And breathe. Under the eyes. So check in with from 1 to 10 where you guys are as well. I'm getting like more like a 6 or a 7. Feeling unsure about the future. Feeling unsure about the past. Under here. Feeling forgetful. Feeling unkind. Under here. Feeling jealous. Feeling betrayed. breathing. And then the chest, feeling afraid of the unknown. It's the biggest one. And then the sides here, feeling disappointed about the way that the world is. And then crossing over here, feeling ashamed, feeling neglected. Okay. So sometimes we feel like a little buzzing, that sort of thing. So checking in from 1 to 10, how you're feeling about an 8 or a 9. Live authentically and stop doing things that feel right, aka familiar. Do things differently if you want different results. Absolutely. Totally part of being present, Melissa. So we're going to go up to the top, okay? Feeling positive about the way that life is. Top of the eyes. Feeling courageous about my future. Sides of the eyes. Feeling supported by other people. And it feels magical. You can smile again. Under the eyes. Feeling supported by my peers and my parents. And then under the nose. Feeling excited about these new steps in my life, these new situations. And under the lips. Feeling like joy is finally happening for me. Yeah. And then on the chest. Feeling like I can role play and I can flow into it. Sides here. Feeling amused. Feeling okay with myself. Feeling productive. Keep breathing that out and then crossing over the wrist. Feeling assured. Feeling loved. Feeling loved. And then breathe. Excuse me, so. Excuse me, really clearing that throat and heart. Like big time. So yeah, like that's just something you can go back, rewatch this, redo this. But yeah, in the retreat, we're going to be, the full moon retreat in August, we're going to be doing more of that. We're going to be doing some chakra work. And once we have the event on Facebook, then you can read more in depth about how much time we're spending. But I think you're going to get a lot of healing from it. So be sure to sign up. Okay. So I have 3 more cards here, but nobody's asking. So I guess I'm going to just read these for July 22nd for everybody. 10 of Earth, a very happy family life, financial security, finding magic in the little things in life. So 10 is telling us that that's the number of an ending. So it makes sense whenever we're doing shadow work, there's something that we're closing off, okay? That's why it makes it so hard to change, because we have to let go of something that maybe we love, maybe something we like. So for me, it's probably my cat, like, because he died. So I'm going to be letting go of, like, you know, anything I'm hanging on to around that. But because this is attached to the element of earth, it might be that, like, so for instance, we're finally now working on building a house. So I'm creating right now my sanctuary, the place where I'm going to be doing retreats, and I'm going to be doing healing, and I'm going to be living. And it's like in the woods, and we have a nice pond and things like that. So that's great that I'm attracting that, and that's finally coming in. But that means I'm going to have to let go of my beautiful home that I live in right now that I absolutely love. So, you know, they're just like, I just finished planting all these new things that I also love, that I'm looking forward to seeing growing. And so these are part of, I guess, the growing pains of, yes, but you say you want this, therefore you have to let go of that. And so that's also very much part of living in the moment and being okay with exactly where we are. Okay, so that's what is coming up today, is focus on kind of future, where you want to go, but also be aware that your past is going to come up as a result of you wanting all these things. So if Melissa wants to be successful, And that's really important for her. Then she has to let go of aspects of herself that hold her back, like her blocks. So doing another round of that EFT, right? Just using her as an example. Thank you, so good. And yes, event will be posted by the end of the day, and sign up. Let's make magic happen. Yes, absolutely. I'm not worried about it at all because we've put out a lot of intentions that the right people will be there, and it's going to be fantastic. So Ace of Earth, the inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, important documents or contracts. Okay, so really good cards here, actually. So what's coming up is the exchange with other people. This is more like spiritual entrepreneurship. So if there are people watching today that are interested in the dailies, typically watch the dailies on a regular, I appreciate it, and I appreciate the people who have subscribed. So if you haven't, I'd love it if you did. So this is talking about exchanges, and it's saying kind of like the Reiki group chat with Shari. It's kind of saying like we need to support each other more in communities, and support each other, like even how we're doing 50% off of our session. So you get $111 off of your session with me. And the cost of the retreat is $111. So if you're planning on getting a session with me, why would you not join the retreat, right? But that's kind of what this is talking about. It's about the give and take, and being okay with like giving, really. I think a lot of people are okay with giving, but then sometimes we attach an outcome to it. And it's giving from your heart. And that's where the universe is supporting you. So there's just a couple affirmations that we could do here, which is I am supported by the universe. If you believe in God, you could say God loves me. You could say the universe is constantly showering me with more faith. Things like that. And then just breathe through your affirmations, okay? Then last card, Two of Earth. Too much going on at once, the need to make a decision, consider a more playful approach. Okay, so we already talked about that, like having some fun today, doing things that you really want to be doing, instead of feeling like we have to do these things. And this is like, hopefully you can see it better. It's almost like a little fairy there and a ring of light. I get that it's important to just support keeps coming up again, just to keep supporting others, just to keep doing that. As long as you are in a supportive state for other people, then it feels like you're going to be more satisfied, because today we've been talking about contentment a lot, which is what we do in meditations, is get to that point of like peace. So I would say, if you're a person who feels a lot of heavy energy around the full moon, I'm going to go onto Robin's Healing Herbs, and I'm going to do a live, and I'm going to give suggestions for products that might be helpful around these energies. In general, just doing more visualization exercises of like putting white light around you to be more mindful of energy. Okay, I have a lot more to say about like mindfulness and practices and tools and things like that, but make sure you join the retreat. We're going to be teaching lots of that as well. Make sure you explore my YouTube channel, because I have so many videos on there underneath my playlist. So have a beautiful day, and maybe I'll catch you over on Robin's Healing Herbs. Okay. For some reason, Ace of Water is coming up as well. That's telling us that we are doing a great job when it comes to letting the emotions out as well. So give yourself a little pat on the back if you have been, doing some of the rituals or doing some of these practices already. All right. Bye for now.